Hello everyone. Recently, I decided to build a JavaScript app for my company, and honestly, I was kind of dreading it. I've never properly learned JavaScript, so I thought I'd have to rely on endless tutorials, Stack Overflow searches, and a lot of trial and error, the usual when you're learning a new programming language. But this time, I decided to try ChatGPT instead. A lot of my coding friends kept telling me how amazing it is, so I thought, why not? And, oh my god, it was a game changer. What normally would have taken me around 5 to 6 hours to figure out, I managed to handle in about 20 minutes using ChatGPT. So, in this video, I want to show you how to use ChatGPT to learn coding faster and more effectively. There's an art and science to using this tool well. And, with great power comes great responsibility. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tina, and I have a background in computer science and data science from Meta. I'm excited to walk you through this process today. First off, I want to introduce a framework for how to ask ChatGPT to design a custom study plan that suits both your learning style and your lifestyle. Project-based learning is still the best way to learn to code, and that hasn't changed at all. But figuring out which projects to tackle can be challenging, so I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to come up with project ideas. I'll also demonstrate how you can get ChatGPT to act like an expert tutor to teach you complex concepts step by step. Finally, I'll share tips on how to get the most out of ChatGPT by mastering prompt engineering. So, what exactly is ChatGPT? It's a natural language processing tool developed by OpenAI that allows you to hold a conversation with it. You can ask it questions, request tutorials, or even talk through coding problems. Think of it like having a conversation with a knowledgeable person who's read a vast amount of information from the internet. However, keep in mind that ChatGPT, while very knowledgeable, isn't always perfectly accurate. Sometimes it can misunderstand questions or give vague responses. That's where prompt engineering comes in, which I'll discuss later. But for now, just know that ChatGPT is a powerful tool that can significantly enhance your learning if you know how to use it effectively. In the coming years, I believe ChatGPT is going to transform how we think, work, learn, and even interact. If you're watching this video, you're way ahead of the curve. This is like getting on Google in the early 2000s, so make sure you're among the first to harness its power and supercharge your learning. Let's dive into how to use ChatGPT to help you create a custom study plan. For this example, we'll ask it to design a study plan for learning Python for data science, but the same approach works for any programming language or technical skill. When you open ChatGPT, your first instinct might be to type something simple, like, "Give me a study plan to learn Python for data science." And it will respond with a decent study plan, covering topics like introductory Python, data visualization, and machine learning. It might even suggest resources like Codecademy or Coursera. However, while this response is okay, it's not perfect. It lacks actionability. It's a bit too vague, and if you're a complete beginner, you might not know what each topic entails. ChatGPT's response here is useful, but it could definitely be better. So, let's refine our approach. The next step could be to ask for a study plan with resources and a timeline. This way, ChatGPT might break things down week by week and suggest specific resources for each topic. It's an improvement, but it's still lacking something. It's mostly just a list of resources and a rough timeline, but it feels a bit disjointed. The plan isn't entirely tailored to different learning styles or specific preferences. For instance, it might recommend text-based resources when you prefer videos. This brings us to a framework I developed for creating a better study plan with ChatGPT. This framework is based on the 5W approach: who, what, when, where, and why. Let's break that down. Who refers to the role you want ChatGPT to play in creating your study plan. What specifies exactly what you want to learn. When relates to your timeline and how much time you can dedicate weekly. Where involves your preferred resources. Do you want video tutorials, interactive courses, or written guides? And why is your end goal? What's the purpose behind learning Python? By giving ChatGPT this context, you get a much more tailored and actionable study plan. Here's an example of a prompt you could use. act as a coding tutor who creates study plans to help people learn to code. I want to become a data scientist but don't know how to code. I can study 10 hours per week and prefer video resources. Create a Python study plan for me. Using the 5W framework, you provide ChatGPT with clear instructions, allowing it to deliver a structured, personalized study plan that's far more useful. When I tried this, ChatGPT gave me an 8-week study plan that was quite detailed. It broke down topics like Python basics, data manipulation, data visualization, and machine learning. It also linked relevant video resources like Codecademy's Python 3 course and YouTube tutorials by Corey Schaefer. Having experience in this field, I can tell you these are excellent resources. However, while the study plan was quite good, I noticed that some parts were a bit aggressive. For example, it suggested covering deep learning in just 2 weeks, which is probably too fast for most beginners. But overall, I was impressed. This plan would be highly effective for a beginner and much better than spending hours piecing together resources on your own. This study plan, while great, lacks one important component: how to apply what you've learned. From my experience in coding and working as a data scientist, I've developed a strategy that complements any study plan: project-based learning. It's one thing to go through tutorials, but if you never apply what you've learned, you risk forgetting it quickly. Coding is a highly applied skill, so creating projects that allow you to practice what you've learned is crucial. For example, after covering Python basics, create a small project that uses what you've just learned. Then, as you progress to data manipulation, incorporate those new skills into a project that builds on your previous knowledge. This iterative learning cycle, focused on projects, reinforces your skills and ensures you retain what you've learned. While ChatGPT won't automatically suggest project-based learning, it can certainly help generate project ideas. Let's say you've learned the basics of data analysis and want a project to apply those skills. You could ask ChatGPT to suggest a project. For example, let's say you love the anime Naruto and want to build a project around it. You might prompt ChatGPT like this: act as an expert data scientist and create an exploratory data analysis project in Python based on the anime Naruto. ChatGPT could respond with a project outline, such as analyzing character appearances, episode popularity, and themes using Python libraries like pandas. It might even suggest scraping data from a website using Beautiful Soup, cleaning the data, and creating visualizations. This type of project would allow you to apply your new data analysis skills in a fun and engaging way. But what if you wanted ChatGPT to actually write the code for this project? Interestingly, ChatGPT can generate code, but there are some caveats. When I asked it to write the code for the Naruto project, it generated a script that looked very legitimate. However, when I tested it, I ran into issues. The code tried to read a file that didn't exist, and there were other minor bugs. This is a reminder that while ChatGPT can provide starter code, it's not always perfect. In this case, I'd rate ChatGPT's project creation skills at around a 3 out of 5. The ideas were solid, but the code didn't work right away. However, it's a fantastic starting point that you can build upon. Aside from creating study plans and projects, another valuable use of ChatGPT is as a tutor. For example, while coding, you might come across complex concepts like inheritance or polymorphism in object-oriented programming. If you're not sure what these terms mean, you can ask ChatGPT for an explanation. I've found that it provides very clear, concise answers. For example, it might explain that inheritance allows one class to inherit properties from another, while polymorphism allows objects of different classes to be used interchangeably. Having this level of support available at any time is invaluable, especially for beginners. ChatGPT is also excellent at other tasks like explaining specific functions, commenting on code, and debugging. If you have a block of code that you don't fully understand, you can paste it into ChatGPT and ask for a line-by-line explanation. Or, if your code isn't working, you can ask ChatGPT to help identify the error. While it's not always perfect, I've found that ChatGPT is incredibly helpful for these types of quick questions and issues. As you get more comfortable with ChatGPT, understanding the basics of prompt engineering will help you get even better results. Prompt engineering is the art and science of designing prompts to get optimal responses from an AI model. It's become so valuable that some companies are now hiring prompt engineers, with starting salaries between $200,000 and $350,000. To get the most out of ChatGPT, I recommend assigning it specific roles. For example, ask it to act as a tutor or act as a project manager to get more detailed, context-aware responses. Another useful tip is to ask it to take it step by step. This approach helps ChatGPT provide a logical flow in its responses, which is especially useful for complex problems. One challenge I've encountered with ChatGPT is that it sometimes times out or stops responding partway through a conversation. If this happens, rather than rephrasing the entire question, just type, "Did you time out?" ChatGPT will often pick up right where it left off. These small tricks and adjustments can make a big difference in the quality of responses you receive. While ChatGPT is an incredible tool, it does have limitations. For instance, it sometimes generates code that doesn't work as expected, or it may confidently give incorrect information. This is why it's essential to validate ChatGPT's responses, especially in areas where you're not an expert. For coding, I suggest using ChatGPT to help you find resources created by humans, like video tutorials or interactive courses, which are usually more reliable. ChatGPT is best used as a supplement to human-made resources rather than a full replacement. Today's sponsor, Brilliant, is an excellent example of a high-quality human-created resource. Brilliant is a STEM learning platform that focuses on interactive, hands-on courses in subjects like math, science, and computer programming. I first heard about Brilliant when I was interviewing for Meta, and the recruiters there actually recommended it as a study resource. Brilliant's courses on Python are particularly relevant here, as they offer an interactive approach to learning that's perfect for beginners and more advanced learners alike. You can explore courses on programming, AI, and more with Brilliant. If you're interested in trying it out, they're offering a free 30-day trial, and the first 200 people who sign up get 20% off their annual subscription. In closing, ChatGPT has fundamentally changed my own workflow, and I think it's going to play an increasingly significant role in education, work, and everyday life. I'm excited to continue exploring its capabilities and sharing tips with all of you. I genuinely believe ChatGPT is the future, and I hope this video has shown you how it can supercharge your learning process. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you in the next video.